Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the shop. We're gonna work today on the little red CRX. I've got a set of Skunk2 full body coilovers to go on it, as well as a big brake upgrade with a CRV caliper and a Mini Cooper disc. Anyway, I'll show you all that stuff, guys. Check it out. I know I've shown you all this stuff before in a previous video, but we'll check it out again. Anyway, these are the CRV caliper on the Mini Cooper rotor and the EX-EF spindle, and this is the Skunk2 Pro ST setup that we're going to be installing under the CRX. I want to get off of there what's already on there, and what's on there really is good stuff, man. It's not bad at all. It's Coney yellows with some sleeve over Skunk2 coils, so it's a really good setup right there. Having this new coilover suspension as well as the bigger brakes is going to help us out later when I eventually get a B-Series motor into this car. I know it's pretty sacrilegious to go ahead and take this one out, but I'm going B-Series and not K-Series so that I can put this car back to stock if I ever wanted to go back to all full OEM. We'll still be able to do that by using a B-Series motor. But for today, I want to get those brakes set up, get that suspension on, get it riding, handling good, get it stopping as best we can before we get that motor in. Probably gonna go ahead and start back here in the back of the car because it's just easier, man, to take out. A couple bolts right at the top, got the 14 at the bottom. I don't know exactly how to set up the other stuff, so I'm gonna kind of base it on how tall this one is. back half, I don't know if it's set and gonna sit right, but it sure looks like it's good to me. The back is so easy. It was those two bolts at the top, one at the bottom, and because the car was already low, that's all I really had to take off, man. I could squeeze everything in there, put it back together. We'll see how it sits once I get the front done. The front's gonna be a little more involved because we're doing the brakes and we're doing the spindle and all that other stuff, but it should be easy enough, man. up here in the front, because we're changing so much, I'm gonna have to take off tie rod in here, ball joint at the bottom. This ball joint, because we're actually gonna keep this camber kit. It's already set somewhat close. Maybe that'll be close enough for that for now. Brake line's off, the caliper's coming off, this entire spindle, this entire brake, everything's coming out of here and getting replaced with that big stuff, that basically poor man's Type R stuff. Got the first one in there, man. It looks great. Stoked to have that in there. That should ride really good. And again, it's gonna help us with a B-Series motor, and so are these brakes. Check out the difference. It's a huge difference in these brakes. You can see right here that the Mini Cooper disc is huge. This should give us a whole lot better braking, and the brake caliper is massive. I mean, it's made for a truck. It's made for like the CRV. Having the Mini Cooper rotor and having the big brake caliper on here gives me basically the same braking as a USDM Integra Type R. Skunk2 Pro STs, full body coilovers, Mini Cooper rotor, CRV brake caliper, and a braided line. We are in there on this side. Hopefully this thing is sitting where I want it to be sitting right now, because I'm gonna do the other side exactly the same as this side and hope for the best. After we get this thing on the ground, we'll be able to tell where she's sitting, and if I have to adjust anything, that'll be when we do that. Had the back on the ground, and I took a guess on where I thought the height should be, or you know, like where I thought it was gonna look good, and I was totally wrong. It looks terrible. Right now it's way too tall for me, bro. Like right here I've got like a full-on 3-finger gap in between the wheel and the fender, and that is no bueno for me. I want this fender to be sitting pretty much right on top of the tire. Looks like I'm gonna have to take this all back apart again and give it another shot before this thing hits the road. Still have to bleed the brakes in the front though, and then I'll put the front back on, and I'm sure that it's gonna be too tall too, because I tried to kind of set the whole thing up together. Just plain old couldn't stand it, so I went ahead and did the rear again, and look, now with the car in the air, it still only has a 2-finger gap now, and that's with the car in the air, so we'll see what happens when we let it down. I went ahead and did the front too, made it just sit a little bit lower than I originally had it set. This will be the first time I set it on the ground. My sweet wife came home and helped me bleed the brakes, so that's all done. All we have to do now is set the car on the ground and sort of set that suspension and see how low it is. And maybe it's too tall and maybe it's too low. Now's when we find out. Well, right now you can kind of see the front is really low. So I guess I went a little too low in the front, and probably, I don't know, maybe just right in the back. We're gonna give that a little time on the road to kind of settle in the back, but I think I'm gonna turn the front up just a little bit. It looks really cool though, man. I have moved that suspension up and down probably 20 times, but I think I got it right. Let's pull it out of here and take a good look at it. All in all, I'm really happy with the suspension. I just took it for a little drive, and man, it's nice and stiff. It feels really good. It's barely even scrubbed in the back, and bro, it's so close right now. You see, maybe you could just see a little bit of rubber in there at the bottom of the fender. It's just scrubbing a little bit, man. It looks good to me right now. I'm pretty stoked with how it's turned out. It feels really good. It handles really good. I'm just stoked with this Skunk2 suspension. Thanks you guys so much for hanging out with us on another one. We'll see you next time, man. You already know what it is. Until we do,
Tom's Honda's here. Don't forget to stay mad.
Today I've got got that set. Boop, boop. Oh shit, man. since it's such, I don't want to say that. Oh man, you got really. You see right here the stock SI brake caliper, and you see right here the stock spindle for you see right here the stock spindle for the SI and the brake and the brake. You can see right here the stock. You can see right here the stock cylinder. Shit, man, you can see it do like I'm like max headroom, you know.
Stay mad.